Well, this marking your foray onto the African continent with Tiger of Sweden setting up shop in Sandton. What's the appeal of the South African consumer market as you see it?
Oh, it's very interesting. Actually, we had our first shop actually open in Melrose Arch 2 years ago, 2.5. So we started off there, and it's a very interesting market. And of course, to be honest, I didn't know very well much before I got approached by it, and then came down here and saw very much interesting things. So we've been retailing now for 2.5 years and starting really well. So then it was time to take the next step. So then we opened the second one. So we had a big launch party yesterday.
You say really well. What appetite are you seeing out there?
No, but it's like, for being a brand like we are, of course, we are a niche brand. We are in the affordable luxury segment. And I think it's very interesting from a visionary point of view that we are designing a brand in Stockholm, Sweden, pretty far away from here. And the same brand DNA and all of that. And we love South Africa, and apparently South Africa loves us. And I think that's a good start.
You say affordable brand. What market are you targeting exactly?
Yeah, but we are just under like the really super brands things. It's like we are a premium brand. We came from tailoring, basically, but we have men's, women, jeans, shoes, and accessory.
You've got, as you say, that your collection that's out there. Is now the time to be entering fiercely the South African market? We've got a very tough economic climate that's playing itself out, and you've therefore faced with a South African consumer that's cutting back, especially on discretionary spend.
It's a very interesting and logic question, of course, but building a fashion brand, it's not a 100-meter race, it's actually a marathon. So we're actually planning the third one in Cape Town as well, so we're here to stay.
What it does is it makes your, your fight for market share a whole lot tougher. So let's take a look at that competitive landscape out there. I mean, what's your assessment of the competition that the South African retail space offers you at this stage?
But I also think it's happening so much here when it comes to fashion. Of course, it's like a fierce competition everywhere. And I think what you really need to do is like keep to your brand identity and offer something that sticks out. Of course, competition is everywhere, but you need to focus on your own thing and be the best.
Okay, so let's take a look at what you're focusing on exactly. Are you looking at this being the spectrum of your product offering, men's and women's jeans and shoes and accessories, and that's it? Moving forward, that's your core focus, and it's just a matter of enhancing your footprint from here on out.
Yeah, of course, that portfolio, of course, we're very happy with. But what we stand for, the brand is founded already in 1903. And I think we work with fantastic cuts and all of that, but we stand for something new. We actually are very progressive and very innovative, and even though it's in the suiting thing. And that has been very appealing to the South African audience.
Yeah. Well, what has had an effect on pricing power of retailers like yourselves is the rand strength and the kind of volatility we've been seeing in the markets. It's eroding margins that could be reaped, especially on imported goods. So with that being the case, just looking at manufacturing, are you looking at setting up shop on a manufacturing basis in South Africa and sourcing local inputs at all?
Not what we have like right here right now. So we have a long-term strategy there. So we keep doing as we have done so far.
Let's unpack that long-term strategy, and how long before we see a widening of that footprint beyond South Africa's borders into Africa? Do you have any of the African countries as targets?
Well, let's see. Right now, our strategy is really to dig where we stand and take it here step by step. But what the future have, we don't really know.
Oh, well, you've set a very rosy and optimistic picture about the kind of market that South Africa presents. What have some challenges been of setting up shop and doing business in South Africa?
It's always like being a new brand. Of course, like when you are a brand, you don't have a high brand awareness and all of that. But then for the first shop that we opened, right now we have a very loyal customer base that seem to return all the time. So of course, like being a new brand, but South Africa is like any other. Every big journey starts with the first stumbling step, but it's been pretty good so far.
Absolutely. How do you establish a loyal customer base?
But everything is about the product. You need to be a world champion there. It's like people try it on, it lives up to their expectation, people come back. That's the only trick, the super product.